Hey YouTubers, this is a ignition lock that wouldn't turn, the key would not turn. We had to drill it out. It's a 95 Toyota Tacoma, four-wheel drive. That doesn't make a difference. I couldn't find any information on this particular model. It's different than the other videos I saw for ignition key problems when they wouldn't turn. We tried every trick in the book to get the key to turn, lubricate it, graphite, tapping, vibration. After a couple hours my wrist was just tired. I couldn't even we couldn't get the key to turn into the accessory position. When you do get in the accessory position, there's a little hole down here that you just push the little pin and the assembly comes out. So we already got the front cover panel off. I'm not going to go over that. There's two bolts at the bottom on both sides and a couple of screws, and then once you get that off, you pop this off, and you got to take the housing off the steering column, and that's I think 5 screws in the bottom of that screwdriver that takes that out. But so here we were. I couldn't get the key to turn, couldn't get this assembly out, and there's a couple of other issues. Trying to drill it, the steering column is exactly in the way to get a straight shot into the hole there. I ended up having to go through both sides of the steering column with the drill, basically trying to get the assembly. Try to get a decent angle here, trying to go through the inside of here as well as on the side. It just really was tough. Plus this lever right here was in the way, so it was just awful. But anyway, I started out. I really didn't want to have to drill this, but I ended up having to do it anyway. And I started out with a carbide tip on a Dremel and got it basically started. That wasn't the full length of the key either. So the next step was to go with a 3/8 drill bit. I'm looking for the one I use. Anyway, I did tape the drill. Here we go. I marked the drill bit with tape, so I wouldn't go any deeper because I didn't really know what was back behind this housing, and I didn't want to get into that because this housing is not something you want to replace. The mechanism for locking doesn't even look like it's possible to remove that. So once I got in with this 3/8, I still didn't have any success. So I upped the ante and marked the 1/2-inch drill bit. And you need a good sharp drill bit, believe me, to get through all the pins and tumblers. But the real issue was once I drilled down the depth of the key, I still couldn't get it to turn. And from looking at other videos, it appeared that once you got this assembly out, you were able to turn this inner part. But that's not the case with this. It's all one piece, and it's locked in with a keyway. And so I was trying my butt off to turn this inner section, and it wouldn't do it. The problem that I discovered was that down inside of here, when I probed it with a little screwdriver, I could feel this little part that was springy. And I could tell that there was something back there that was moving just a little bit, and I could get the screwdriver past it in a couple points, and I could tell there was a hollow chamber back here. Well, I couldn't get that springy part out or move it so that I could push that plunger in down here. And it wasn't on purpose, but trying to do these two different angled drills, especially the one up through the steering column, I actually drilled through the housing for this mechanism and punched a little hole in the side of it by going through the drill bit at an angle like that. It's not going to interfere with the new assembly lock to go in at all, and it actually helped me because through this hole here, I'll show you now. I'm going to pull this out now because I did get the assembly out. There's that little part that's in there that's left over from the barrel assembly for the locking cylinder. And there it is right there. And I couldn't get that to move. It's pot metal. You couldn't use a magnet. Try to get it out for you. There we go. There's the pin right there that you have to depress to get this assembly out right there. And this part locks into that little spade assembly right there. And so this was locked in on that spade, and it was keeping that from turning. And that's the slot right there that I needed to get to push that pin into, and I couldn't get this to turn because this was engaged in that slot. And so that was the problem. The hole that I ended up accidentally putting in here, here's the hole, you can see my finger, that I went through this housing. I was able to put a little screwdriver in here and pop this piece forward. And as soon as I did that, I was able to put the screwdriver in here and push that little pin up. I could feel the spring action then, and I was able to work this out. So if you run into this problem, that's the issue right there, is trying to get this out. So actually, by me drilling at a slight angle and punching the hole in the side of this right here, actually would have helped me. I don't know how I would have got that out. It was jammed in there. Perhaps even a little bit bigger drill bit might have given you enough room to get in there with a big pair of tweezers, because I was trying everything to try to get that part out, and it wouldn't. So maybe a 9/16 or a 5/8 drill bit might have given you enough clearance to go in here and grab that and pulled it out. So I thought you guys might appreciate some information on this, because it was a real bear. And I got the new part here. I'll show you what the issue was. This is a new assembly, and that's the part right there. It's when you drill out the locking cylinder assembly and the pins, this part is left. And like I said, you can't turn it because that slot is engaged with that spaded assembly, and you have to maybe some kind of dental pick, get in there and get on the back side, and you have to pull this piece forward somehow so that that pin can be depressed and get the this assembly out. I was under the assumption that once I drilled out the key locking mechanism, that this inner barrel I would be able to turn something. But not the case. This is all one piece assembly. So, and it's locked in with this big keyway right here, so that's why I couldn't turn it. So that's the issue you're up against if you have this problem. And it was a real bear, and I was scared to drill this thing out because I didn't know I didn't know what was back there, never been inside of one of these before. But that was the issue. And so we got it out. That's one big hole, as you can see. But yeah, there's nothing in there, and you can see where I drilled through the side of this too. And then, so actually doing that, and it's not going to cause me any problem. And you couldn't do it from the back side. There's not enough room in here for the drill. So by going up through the upper part of the steering column, actually worked out in my favor. The new assembly is going to go in, and there's nothing on that side of this housing that's going to cause me any problems with the new assembly. So that's your issue. You got to mark your drill bit, because you don't want to get into this part right here, the spade assembly, and damage that, because then you're looking at a real mess. But anyway, now that we got the new part, I'll be able to put the key in, put it to accessory, which will allow me to depress that key and slide this assembly in with the key in the accessory position, and we should be back on the road. So, like I said, I didn't see any other videos on this particular type of ignition system, and went ahead, and since I had the problem, I thought maybe I could give some other folks a little bit of a hand. But that little plug is what you got to try to get out right there. That's the issue. So if you got this problem, good luck, and I hope you wish you well and success. So I'm going to cut the video short. Thanks you much. Bye-bye.